Hi there guys, Vino here and welcome to this Vino Plonk production. Now usually on a Sunday, when I do a Sunday video, I like to give you something a bit more upbeat, a bit more relaxing for your Sunday. You know, it's the second day of the weekend, people are going back on Monday, and it's nice to have a video that's a bit more upbeat than this. Not that it's going to be downbeat, but I am going to be a little bit sour in this video. And I am going to be talking about the cluster duck that is the GTA, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition whole debacle. So, if you didn't know, X amount of months ago, Rockstar announced that the Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition was coming to all platforms. This is a long rumoured update of Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. The problem about the rumours, and even when Rockstar announced it, was that news has been very thin on the ground, even up until the day before release, even 2 days before release. There was very little news from Rockstar themselves. 2 weeks before release, there was a really well curated trailer that came out that shown off a lot of the different aspects of the three games of the Trilogy collection, but not a lot more than that. Well, it looks like we found out the answer as to why this may have happened. Turns out the release has been an absolute cluster duck. I can't think of any other word. Obviously there is a word I should be using in that place, but for the YouTube algorithm I'm keeping it out. By golly gosh. So, people kept saying to me, oh yeah, the friends and not family, but friends, the GTA Trilogy is on its way. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of interested. I didn't realise how close it was to being released and how close to my birthday it was being released. It is currently Sunday the 14th of November. My birthday, as of time of recording this, is in 2 days time. And I thought I'm going to treat myself to the Switch version of the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy DE edition, because it's been so long since I've touched any of those games. I do have a couple of them on my phone actually. They run really well. I've got a Razer Kishi controller and it works phenomenally on there, and I really like playing Vice City and GTA 3 I think I have on there. They're really fun, good games, and they're really catered to playing on the go. They've done some few adjustments to the game to allow them to be played on the go. All well and good, and I started thinking about all the fun times, all the nostalgia I had with those three games way back in the day. But then I smelt something wrong. There was a stank in the air, and that stank was something very fishy was going on. So, being almost 33 years old, being, very interested in the gaming industry for all that time, I know when something is amiss. And I know when reviews come out, especially of a game I'm looking forward to, Metroid Dread, they came out 2 days before. Most games, reviews come out before. If the company's really confident about the game, they come out a week before, or the reviews. However, with Grand Theft Auto, there was no reviews beforehand. Nobody seemingly got a review copy. At least very few people seem to have gotten a review copy. The only people that seem to have gotten a review copy were the ones that got it early. Also, it got released on the PlayStation 5 store an hour or two early, whatever it was. It got released on specifically the PlayStation 5 store, not just the PSN, so it wasn't available for PS4, just the PS5. So no other system, the PlayStation 5 got it a few hours early, which allowed people to play it early. People did manage to get hold of it much earlier than that. There was footage going up online 24 hours before, but I just found that really funny that they accidentally probably allowed it to be downloaded properly and played unlocked on the PlayStation 5. No other system was allowed to do that. And then the next day, well, they pulled it from the PSN store completely for a while. It then went back up to PSN store, then was pulled again because of all the problems that we have going on. I will get into the problems in a minute. Also, upon all of this is Take-Two own 2K Games that owns, sorry, Take-Two, which is 2K Games, part of Take-Two, but Take-Two owns Rockstar Games, if you didn't know. And Take-Two are a lot like EA, but they're a lot more quieter than EA. EA are a lot more louder, more overt with what they do. 2K are a lot more subtle. They're behind the scenes, a bit more conniving, devious, if you will. And I didn't know this, but they've been sending out DMCA notices to any modders of the GTA games. Any modder that's modding GTA games, they've been sending out DMCA takedown requests or telling them not to do anything, threatening legal action. And then Rockstar decided to pull all of those 3 other games from every digital store available, from Steam to the official Rockstar launcher to PSN to any digital front store. Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City and San Andreas, the originals, aren't to be seen anywhere. The only way to get hold of those would be to buy them off of eBay or something. So it's all already, even before we get into the games themselves, the gameplay, so to speak, it's a bit of a clusterfuck. Now let's get into what's actually been going on. So before we get into the next gen versions, the Nintendo Switch version is a write-off at this point. It doesn't perform very well. It's laggy, it's frame ratey. There's a load of pop-in. There's actually a video I was watching earlier when someone's about to try and do a jump and literally a car pops in at the base of the jump, so they just crash into the car. And that happens 3 or 4 times in a row. There's really severe pop-in. All that stuff on the Switch. Now you'd probably expect that on the Switch. It's a bit of aging hardware now. It's not the PS5 or the Xbox Series XS. But if we move on to either of those systems, there's still texture pop-in. There's not building pop-in or car pop-in, but there's texture pop-in. I was watching someone play the PS5 version earlier, and there was literal texture pop-in. And not even like in the distance, quite close. Actually, you would think hardware as powerful as the PlayStation 5 that it would run far better than it is. It is not running very well at all on any system for that matter. It's supposed to hit 60 on the other systems. It frequently drops below 30, even down to 20. On the Switch, it's at 30. It can drop as low as 20, 15, even lower than that sometimes. It's really not a good look at the moment. So, gameplay wise. You then go on to some of the other problems. So there has been a coat of paint added to the 3 games, if you will. And there's a cutscene where all of the main characters, most of the characters, all have their new character models. They look really good. There's one character that's the old character model. And it's not a case of that's intentional. His assets, his new assets haven't loaded in properly. And it's the old character model. And there are some videos where it's there, some videos where he doesn't have his new character models. It is bizarre, to say the least, that all these problems are happening. There's some problems in San Andreas with some of the characters looking really goofy. There's some texture stretching and all that kind of stuff. It has been a absolute diabolical release. And I'm really sour because I was really looking to get back into those games, play them, relive some childhood moments. I will say that San Andreas is available on Game Pass. I don't have an Xbox console, but I do have xCloud or Project X, whatever you want to call it now, the cloud gaming. So I will probably play some San Andreas on there and give it a go and see what it's like on there. But at this precise moment, I'm not looking to plonk money down on what has been such a screw up. And a company as revered as Rockstar, it really pains me because Rockstar is one of in a sea of companies that people are wary of, they're paranoid of, quite rightly so, to be honest, especially like EA and companies like that. Rockstar have been well regarded for a number of years. Yes, Dan and Sam Houser, who are a founder of Rockstar North and the main guys behind the GTA series and the Red Dead series and all the big games that they do, they are controversial figures and they've spoken out a number of times. They're both Scottish, so you could probably, That's a bit of a joke for my English, from British fans, UK fans. But yeah, they're outspoken. The Scots are outspoken naturally, so you can kind of understand where they're coming from. And both being joint CEOs of Rockstar North, you can understand, you know, there's some tension sometimes. Obviously, we know that with Red Dead Redemption 2, there was crunch and potentially a member of staff lost their life as a result of that, if you believe the rumours. I don't know whether it was actually confirmed or not. But for the most part, Rockstar has kept quite a squeaky clean record. They release really good games. They tend to treat their staff okay, from what we generally know. Obviously, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. They're generally a highly regarded company. And then this happens. It just goes to show, it doesn't matter how high of a podium, how shiny and gold a company may be in your brain, they can always fuck up, basically. They can always bugger up and cause one hell of a cock up. Part of me kind of still wants to buy the Switch version, because it's going to be with birthday money, so it's less of a, less of a disadvantage to me, because, you know, I'm buying it with birthday money. It's like I'm plonking my own money on it necessarily, but at the same token, I do want to buy something for my birthday that's a bit better received than what the GTA Trilogy has been received. I don't do gaming news, like current gaming news, that often, but I have to give my 2 cents worth, 2 pennies worth on this whole situation, because I'm just as bitter and sour as a load of other people are. I am disappointed. I am frustrated. Rockstar have declared they are going to be fixing these games. Bloody right you should, to be honest with you. They shouldn't released in this state. They should have been left in the oven to bake a little bit more. I think, is it Moon Studios that did it? I can't remember the company that they handed it over to do the remaster. No, it's not remake, remaster, I don't know what it is, but just, by golly gosh, have they misstepped this. How they're going to fix some of the issues, I don't know. One of the issues is the rain doesn't work properly in all 3 games. It was first discovered in San Andreas. The rain doesn't work properly. It's just a filter they've placed over. It's not like physical rain, and the reason why it's a filter is you can literally walk under a bridge and it's still raining. In the cutscene at the beginning of GTA 3, when you and 8-Ball are in the back of the police van, it's raining inside of the police van. The whole ambient lighting at the beginning of the PlayStation 3, the PS2 version, the whole ambient blue lighting that appears at the beginning of the original version is not there in the remaster, and the feel and the tone of it is completely different as a result of that. I could go on and on and on about all the problems that there are with the Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, collection, whatever you want to call it. And much like a lot of gamers right now, I am really disappointed. I probably am going to check out some streams and stuff like that. I am potentially considering buying the PC version, because I think out of all the different versions, that's the least impacted version. However, I can't buy it right now. Actually, I don't know whether I can buy it right now, but it's pulled from the Rockstar game launcher. I don't think if I said that earlier, but Rockstar have pulled Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition from a bunch of different stores. The PC store, it's been up and down from the PlayStation store. It's a whole thing. I could literally spend the next 3 hours probably dissecting all of it, but I'll leave that here right now. I just wanted to get my own piece in on this, get my own frustrations out there, and yes, I'm riding the coattails of all of the GTA news that's going on at the moment, but hey, sometimes you got to do something like that if you want to play the YouTube game, if you know what I mean. But yes, I will probably be uploading another video later today, a bit more of an upbeat video. I may even be giving you my Metroid Dread review, because I'm very near the end of my second playthrough on hard mode. So we'll see where things go from there. But yeah, let me know down in the comments section what your feelings are on this whole situation to do with GTA the Trilogy DE edition, definitive edition, such a word soup of a title, to be completely honest. Yeah, let me know. Give me a like or dislike depending on how you felt about this video. I just realised I can't say dislike anymore because YouTube have now removed public dislikes off the video. So give it a like or a comment depending on your feelings. And yeah, let's get a discussion going down below. If there is more of a discussion about this, I'm more than willing to do a live stream in the next couple of days talking about this ad nauseum and talking about some other bits and bobs, because Jesus Christ. Anyway, until next time, guys, please take care. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day. Ta-ra.